Hello and welcome to Krista So Crafty. My name is Krista. Today I'm going to be making a pulled pork and I thought I'd bring you along. So I'm going to be serving that on buns and I'm making some coleslaw. So let's get into it. I am searing the pork loin on both sides. I have the Instapot turned on to saute and it's hot. So I've got a little bit of oil in the pot, and I'm just going to sear it a little bit, and then I will do the same to the second one. It really doesn't take that long to get some browning on there. I mean, I could leave it longer, but we just want to sear this so that it holds the juices in, and it'll make this nice and tender. I am going to throw in this second tenderloin, this pork loin, and we will just let them both brown up nicely here, and then we will move on to the next step. So what I'm doing is I'm just flipping this around to make sure that all the sides are getting a sear on them. Of course, I could be using a pair of tongs, which would be a little bit longer, and then I wouldn't be getting spit on, but you know. I'm just going to turn that side this way and let them sit that way for a few minutes. I'm just going to take and slice up this half of an onion, and I'm going to put it in there as well. So I've just sliced these onions fairly thin, and once the meat has finished searing on all sides, I will put that in here as well. But before I do that, I am going to put a bit of a rub on this meat. Now, some people would have done it before this, but I'm going to do it after. Okay, I think our meat is seared enough, which is wonderful. So now what I'm going to do, I have this BBQ chicken and rib. It's like a rub, but it smells wonderful. It's like, what's that got in it? Garlic salt, cane sugar, chili powder, salt, garlic, rice concentrate, herbs, black pepper, cayenne pepper. I'm going to add this. This is what I'm going to use as the rub. So I'm just going to sprinkle this all over. A good thick layer. Like that. And I'm going to just kind of push that into the meat. And now I'm going to turn this over. Like that. And turn this one over. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Spread this around. And now I'm going to take and I'm just going to lift this up a little bit. And I'm going to put these onions underneath both of the tenderloins. This will just lift them up off the bottom of the pan a bit so it doesn't burn. Okay. And then I'm going to put in some apple cider vinegar, just a little bit, maybe a couple tablespoons. And one other thing is some barbecue sauce. I have this bullseye barbecue sauce, which we really like. So I'm going to open this, and there's about half left. So I'm just going to pour all of this on top of the tenderloins, and I think this is going to be very, 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 very yummy. So I'm going to put a little bit of water in there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the water into my container here, and I'm going to mix this up like so. And the reason we want to put water in is so that we don't get a burn notice. I think a little bit more, just to make sure we don't get a burn notice. Like that. Oh, that's gonna be so good. So good. So now that we have everything in here, I'm going to turn this off of saute. I'm going to shut that off. And I'm going to put it on to pressure cook, and I want it on high. And I'm going to put it on here for 45 minutes. Once it reaches that, I'm going to let it release by itself. And in a couple hours, we will have the most delicious supper. So it's beeping, so I'm going to put my lid on. So we'll get this put on and closed. We want to make sure, if you have a dial that says to seal or whatever, make sure it's on seal. And I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna let it go. And I do have the keep warm on, so that as the pressure is releasing, it'll keep it nice and hot. So we'll see you in a few hours. All right. So you know that it's depressurized when this little button has gone down. It was up before, it's down. Okay, so I can wiggle this around. It's done. So now, take the lid off. Oh, that looks so good. Did you know that your Instapot lid can sit on there? I didn't know that, but I do now. All right, this looks wonderful. Oh, and look at that. That is the perfect amount of time. So I'm just gonna shred this right in the pot. Now, if you want, you can thicken your sauce a bit. I'm not going to, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. You can also take these out and put them into your KitchenAid if you have one, or put them into a bowl and use a mixer to shred them. And I've gone ahead and I just had a bag coleslaw salad, and I've mixed it up with some coleslaw dressing. So that's what we are gonna have for supper tonight. My Instapot is still on keep warm, and I'm just leaving it like that for now. All right, let's move on to the next step. Here I have a bun that I have sliced open. And I'm going to place some of this beautiful pulled pork on there. Just gonna move my crock pot in a little bit so I don't make a big mess. Now you want some of those juices on there. Oh my goodness. This smells so good and I can't wait to taste it. There, and I have a big bowl of coleslaw. So I'm going to take a forkful and I'm going to put some on here. Just like that. Oh my goodness. I can't wait. And that is our pulled pork. Here it is. All right, I'm gonna put this together and squish it because it's pretty thick. And I'm going to have a bite. Mm. 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 Oh my gosh. That is wonderful. Make sure you have a napkin nearby. That is wonderful. I hope you give it a try. Thank you for joining me today as we made some pulled pork sandwiches. They are fantastic. Next time, maybe I'll try making my own buns. But for now, this is what it is, and this is what is for supper tonight, and it is fantastic. I hope you give it a try. Thank you again for joining me today, and happy crafting.